Hi all. This is my culminating project and it is by me, Madison Steers. So starting off with the problem of practice, I focused my project on a student named Lottie. She's a fictional student in my second grade classroom. Lottie's strengths, she scores above average in math from her peers. This is her strongest subject and enjoys leading small math groups and sharing her knowledge about the subject. She enjoys listening to stories, whether they be audiobooks or stories that the teacher reads. She can repeat these stories verbatim. Lottie also knows a lot of facts about Maine Coon cats. She has a Maine Coon cat and loves to engage with people in this way. If people ask her about her cat, things like that. Lottie's struggles, she has educational struggles and non-educational struggles. Non-educational struggles is that this past summer she was separated from her siblings and placed into an adoptive parent's care. They are doing the best for her and trying to get her all the help she needs. However, I think this leads to a lot of emotional dysregulation, and this will be explained in a future slide. Lottie does not work very well in a group if it's outside of math. She is a natural born leader and enjoys attention. However, she's not getting the attention. She will distract others and actually struggles to engage with students if she's not the leader of the group. She is at a lower maturity level than most of her peers and tends to pull students' hair to get their attention if they're not focusing their attention on her. She also interrupts the class with outbursts if she's not receiving this attention, and this can happen especially when there's changes in the classroom, like transitions, or something that she's not prepared for, like a fire drill. She tends to have an outburst. Another struggle that she has is being absent on a regular basis. She's usually only at school a couple of days a week for the 4-day school week. Educational struggles is that she is reading a first grade reading level at 20 words per minute. For second grade, the standard is 70 words per minute at the second grade reading level. She also struggles with comprehension when she is reading. As soon as she starts reading, she gets stuck on words and then forgets what she has read about. She also struggles with speech. She struggles saying S's, R's, and sounds that have the TH in them with that say. For supporting research and instructional strategies, I focused on three main ones. The first is speech and comprehension. So one strategy I found was first, next, and finally, which you start out giving instructions to the student with first, we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, finally, we're going to do this. The instructions are very clear. You can even chunk them down to just saying, first, I want you to write your name on your paper. Then the student completes that task. Okay, now I want you to do problem A and then break it down simply like that. The use of graphic organizers or story maps can also be extremely helpful for comprehension. Story maps are specifically designed for stories, so you could follow along with the student as they are reading and you found a character's name or a place pops up and then you can write, oh, there's a character. Let's write them in your characters. Or, oh, that's a place that they're at. Let's write the place that they're at. Things like that. Comprehension goes hand in hand with speech. So Once her speech is brought to speed, it will increase her comprehension. Another instructional strategy that I did not list was choral reading. That can be extremely helpful for her as well. Self-regulation, mindful interventions are the top thing that I found when I researched self-regulation for students. A couple of techniques that I found is the heartbeat technique. The students can feel their heartbeat, like as they're settling, like as they're just sitting, okay, it's calm, and then have the student do an activity that raises their heartbeat. And then they feel it beating really fast. And then after a minute, they can feel, oh, it's calming down. And then another minute passes, oh, it's really calm. This helps the students really connect with their body and can actually feel their body settling down, which can be very helpful. Another technique is the stop technique. It is stop, observe, stop, take a breath, observe, and then proceed mindfully. So this can help students when they are having these reactions, especially the unsafe ones towards the students. This technique can be used to help her stop, literally stop, and figure out what she needs to do. Motivation is the last strategy I researched, and the top thing I found was that all these articles are mostly geared towards parents. It starts at home, it starts with parents um, promoting their student to, like, yes, we like school, we want to go to school, school is awesome for us, things like that. School aspects of this is just using that social reinforcement, so giving high fives and hugs, things like that. Even just positive words can really improve a student's motivation for school. My instructional plan focuses on the physical, technology, materials, and people. So, physical aspects would be glasses. We found out that Lottie failed her eye check test and needs glasses. She I think this also led to her struggling with some of her reading issues since we did not know that prior. I think wiggle cushions would help, walk breaks, and classroom breaks. So, classroom breaks is she's just moving from one location to the classroom into another, or she's either doing some independent work um, or taking just a mindful break using the heartbeat technique, things like that. Technology, so, if she forgets her glasses or before she gets her glasses, we can use text to speech, zoom in option, and then a Read Naturally website, which is just another way to use those text to speech, audio, books, and zoom in options. Materials, quite a few materials could be handy, like flashcards, a check in, check out sheet for behavior, especially those unsafe behaviors, and then reading materials with large fonts, etc., etc. People that will be helpful for Lottie, first and foremost, is a speech pathologist. I think helping her to better her speech, especially if we can get her into that speech pathologist that is flexible with the schedule. If Lottie's not there that day, they can reschedule and do it the next day, things like that when she is at school. Parents can be a super helpful tool, especially if she needs some counseling, if they see that is fit for her. They can get those kind of resources. A special education teacher, I would like for Lottie to get into a special education classroom to help her with her emotional dysregulation. A a special educational aid would be very helpful for her at recess to use that stop technique and disengage in those unsafe behaviors. Intervention teacher to help her with her reading. a classroom aide to get that one-on-one, especially if she's kind of needing that attention. That classroom aide can be with her, and they can do like a walk break or something like that. And then the classroom teacher to help her get all the resources that she needs and get some plans in motion for her. The timeline for this implementation is we want everything to happen right now, but I think the primary support she would need is to help her emotions get regulated. This is a need that has not been met and continues to not be met, and I don't believe that she will do very well in her education if her emotions are not getting regulated. So, getting her in with the special education teacher, using these mindful techniques. We could even use like a glitter in a bottle of water where she just shakes it up and she's able to do just some things, or a fidget tool like a poppet, like sensory things like that, just to get her started. But I don't want to implement too much change too quickly. If she's struggling with these outbursts during changes in the classroom or transitions, how is this going to affect her if we have her going to all these different classrooms all at one time? Evaluation for this plan, I would probably evaluate this weekly and then go from there. I would evaluate her display of emotions. Are they getting worse? Are they getting better? Why? What's causing her to display these emotions? Is it a trend going up or down? Is it kind of wonky? Is it up and down? Things like that. We'd also know if group activities are getting successful or if they're continuing to be unsuccessful. Whether or not she's meeting her weekly check-in, check-out goal, things like that. Continuing to be is she continuing to pull students' hair? Is she starting biting students? Is she using her stop technique? Things like that. Um, Weekly progress monitoring when she starts in the intervention classroom. Is her reading getting better? Is it declining? Is there some factors that are the reason why it's declining? Another thing to evaluate is how many breaks is she needing during the day? Is she using breaks to escape from situations? Is she using her breaks wisely and then able to, or efficiently, using her breaks efficiently and on getting back to the classroom? How is it working for her? And then a concluding thought is all plans should not be set in stone, and this plan will be reevaluated, updated as Lottie continues to progress or regress. There are many teachers in the school, and once she starts working with them, they might find useful tips that are helping her, or we might start implementing this plan and finding out that some of these techniques are not working for her and actually increasing behavior, um, increasing undesired behavior, things like that. So I believe that the I, as a teacher, would evaluate my techniques. What am I doing? Am I finding these resources, and continuing to see success? And that's what we want for our students. And so continuing to change as the students' needs change would be very helpful for her. And then these are my references. Thank you for listening to my project.